Have you ever wondered how other consultants use digital assets or create digital assets for their business so that they can look more professional? In this video, we're going to talk about a free tool called Canva.com. Canva is a graphic design tool, and the free version of Canva, I've been using it for a few years now, and it does pretty much everything that I need it to do. There are some features that are locked behind paywalls, like creating a transparent background. But I've shown you in another video about how to use Adobe Express, how you can get an image with a transparent background from that software, and then just drag it into Canva to create a finished looking document. So as a consultant, many times you're trying to create either an invitation, a social media post, a YouTube video, you're trying to create a banner for your LinkedIn page or any social media pages that you have. Whenever you're trying to do basic graphic design, I'm going to try to show you a tool here that is really simple to use and how you create templates to be able to just repeat that process over and over again, so it's super simple for you. So let me just share my screen. And when you go to canva.com, if you've never been there before, it's going to ask you to sign in on a free account. Go ahead and sign up for the free account. It's going to either ask you to log in with Google or use your email address. Do that, and it's going to take you to this home screen. If you are already using the software, which I am, it gives me all of the recent activity that I've been doing in the software. And you can see I've just recently created a thumbnail for my YouTube channel. And what I often do is I'll just save these as I'm creating the image, and I'll use those as the template for the next thumbnail that I'm going to create. What that does is saves me a ton of time, because I don't have to go back and reinvent any of the settings, any of the colors. I maybe just drag and drop the image out, maybe change the copy a little bit, and I'll show you how I do that real quickly. So let's just jump into this last thumbnail that I created here. I'm just going to select it. Now, if you didn't have a thumb here, all you would do is go to Create, hit the Create button, and actually, let's go in that way. Let's go in through Create. Rather than show you something that already exists, let's just start from the beginning. So what do I want to create? It gives me a template of hundreds of different things that I could be creating. The first thing I'm going to say is, yeah, I want to create a YouTube thumbnail. So I select that. The next thing it's going to do is give me a whole host of thumbnail templates that I could use, or I could just start with this blank page. The good news is the setup of this blank page is exactly the right size for a YouTube thumbnail. So that's the good thing about starting with a template. It's going to give you the frame size that you need to fill in so that it looks right on the social media tool that you've created. Or recently I used Postcard to create an invitation. So I used a postcard sized template to create an invitation for an event that I'm hosting for my clients, and I got a really professional postcard type document, card-like printed document from this exercise that I printed at Staples. I think it cost me 64 cents a piece. And to invite 10 clients to an event, I spent under $10. So this is a really helpful tool, especially if you're a solopreneur. You're a consultant, you don't want to hire a graphic designer to do all of your work for you. You want to have a tool that's going to help you create social media posts or any kind of digital asset that you need to print out a physical asset. This is going to be the right tool for you. So I think I've already mentioned, or maybe I haven't, but anytime you see this crown, that means this particular template or this particular asset lives behind a paywall. You'd need to have to upgrade to a premium account to be able to access this template. I could drag and drop it in, but there are elements to this template that are behind that paywall. I just don't even bother with it. I just stick with all of the templates in here that do not have a crown, like this one here. And there are literally thousands sitting in here. Recently, I've used this particular template, so it sits at the top and it says, here's one that you've used before. So I'm just going to select that template, and just like that, it drops into our system. Now, as you see, I can move the cursor around, and as I move the cursor around, the box highlights the asset that I'm currently potentially going to be working with. All I have to do is take an asset like this, right-click it, and I'm going to delete this one because that's not me. So in the last video when I talked about Adobe Express, I uploaded an image of myself that had a transparent background. So let's just grab that image again. I just clicked on it and there it is inside of the document. And let's just size that. I just grab the handles on the corners, size it, move it around where I want it on the image or on the template. And now the next thing I'm going to look at is, okay, in a lot of videos that I see on YouTube, there's a white outline around the individual's face to sort of give a dramatic effect. I spent hours trying to figure out how to do that, and it's really simple. I'm going to show you how. So all you have to do is make sure that that asset is highlighted, go to the edit button at the top, and that edit button only shows up when I've highlighted an asset. See, I've clicked outside of the workspace, that menu's gone. Click on the workspace, click on an asset, now I can see the edit buttons there. So if I just jump on edit, you can see on the left-hand side here, and I'm just going to move my screen over here so you can see this a little bit better for a second. What you can see is if I scroll down, I'm going to come to something called shadows. And inside of shadows, I have a number of different options. I'm going to use the glow feature. And as soon as I click on the glow feature, you can see there's a shadow added to me. If I double click the glow feature again, or just click it once, now it's going to allow me to edit the shadow. Do I want to have a bigger shadow? Do I want to have a smaller shadow? Do I want to blur them out? I can easily scale it up and down. Intensity, do I want it to be really super intense or not? I just play with it until I find the look and feel I'm looking for. Here's where I change the color. I just simply click on the color scale and I know that white is up in the top left-hand corner. I do that. Now let's look at the size again. Blur amount, intensity, and you can see here on this particular background, you can start to see as I get the intensity up. I'm going to bring the size down a little bit, take the blur out of it a little bit, and you can see now I'm starting to get that white impact effect of myself on the screen. There is another tool that I can use, and if I come out of shadows for a second, go back down to shadows, sometimes you want to have an outline. And the outline, if I go to outline, the outline now, same thing, I've clicked on it. Now I've got a much crisper, sharper white outline. So again, depending on the impact you're looking for, the effect you're looking for, and again, if I want to change this, I just double click or click once on the outline tool. And again, I can change the size of the outline, really simple stuff. Once I've got something I've settled on, I'll just keep it on outline for a second. The intensity is right. I'm going to just drop myself down so it looks sort of right in the image. Now let's move over to some of the other elements inside of the workspace. I'm going to move myself out of the way again right here. So now I've clicked out of the image because I'm done with that. I like the arrows being here, the chevrons being here. I like these quarter impacts. These corner assets, I think they're great. But now let's change the word freelancer to consultant. So all I've done is I've highlighted the text inside of this asset. It is already in capitals, so I don't have to worry about setting it. It already has a font style attributed to this template. So all I have to do is type in the word consultant. And now we've created how to become a consultant for our title. Click out of it. Now you can see there's the finished effect. But let's say I want to change the color for consultant, or any of these colors for that matter. I'm just going to take the word consultant. You can see because my mouse is hovering over top of it, the box is outlined. If I select it with a left-hand click, now you can see I have the handles on the corners. You can see that I'm working within this particular asset. If I go up to the top here into colors, right now the text color is white. But let's say I want to change that. Inside of Canva, I can create brand colors for my business so that I don't have to go back and completely search for a specific Pantone number all the time. And a Pantone number is just a number on the color palette that is very specific and it allows you to have consistency in your branding all the time. In this case, I'm just going to use the color gold, and you can see, or it's calling it peach, and you can see the Pantone color below it, hashtag FFBD59. I could specifically type that into the search bar, and that would give me that specific color. But right here, I think this works for me. I'm just going to select it, and you can see just by clicking it now, the color has changed on the text box and on the text within that text box. So that is a really simple tool, and I just click out of it again, and now I've got the image that I want, the outline that I want, I've got the text that I want. But let's say I don't like this background anymore. Again, all I have to do is move my mouse around anywhere on the template, and whatever is being outlined, if I just click it once, there is the template. And what I just did was I brought it to the front. If I right click it and I go to layers, actually, let's not do that. Let's go back. What I want to do is this. I am going to, let me show you how I move everything around on the screen as a group. If I wanted to move, let's just say, these two text boxes around, I use the mouse to sort of drag and cover them until both of those assets are highlighted. And then if I just click on it, I can drag these assets anywhere on the screen. If I wanted to change any of these assets, maybe I wanted to change this color here, I click on the box. You can see the box is now highlighted as opposed to the copy inside of the box. If I went to the box and I wanted to edit the color, maybe I wanted to make that a different color. Let's say I wanted to make it red. Click on the red. Now I've got the red box. If I wanted to grab the background and change the blue in the background, even though the box is highlighted right now, you can see it's not giving me the opportunity to select the background because it's grabbing the entire box. It's not actually grabbing the background in the box. So what you have to do is you have to isolate it. So what I might normally do is just grab everything and scooch it over so that I can now grab the background. Delete background, there we go. And just like that, I've deleted the background because now I've isolated and grabbed the background. I can then come back and if, let's say I didn't want to do that, I'll come back, just keep hitting the back button up here, and I can take it back to where I was before. I don't like that red anymore. I want it to be black again. Fantastic. If I didn't like the background, I could just hit delete background, and there it is gone. I want to bring it back again, hit the back button, and I'm back. You can play with this for hours, and what I'm trying to share with you right now, it's a really simple tool to use and navigate. If there's something you're trying to do in this tool that you would like me to either explain to you in more detail, maybe create a video around that. I know a lot of people are asking about how do I get that transparent background on an image. I've shown that in another video. If there's any questions that you have that you'd like to take a deeper dive on with respect to building these slideshows or these assets or these PDFs, just ask, drop in the comments. I'll try to answer them for you so that I don't create an hour-long video that is on information that you don't need. This was the basics on how to, as a consultant, get started with a free graphic design tool, create for yourself either a business card or update your LinkedIn profile banner. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you can easily do that inside of Canva using the tools that I'm sharing with you. So if that was of interest, please feel free to drop a like in the comments. Leave me a comment if you want me to show you how to do something else inside of the software. Again, I could spend hours here. That's not the point. The point was to say, hey, here's a free tool. Learn how to use it. Really simple. Play with it. Once you've saved an item, and I'll go back 1 second. If I just go back to my project, so if I hit the home button, and it takes me back to my projects. Again, this is where a lot of my projects live, and if I need to make a quick change to it, I can always jump into that project, re-edit it, and then download it again so that I can then use it with whatever digital tool that I'm using. So here's the consultant file that I was just working on. the image hadn't rendered yet into the home page of my projects. Let's see if it does now. Yeah, it still hasn't rendered yet. It takes a little bit of time to render it. But again, here's a thumbnail that I created for another YouTube video. If I wanted to create a similar thumbnail, I would simply open this up, make a copy of it, and use the new thumbnail because I want to keep everything consistent as a template. Yeah, so hopefully that helped. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content on this channel. If you haven't already done so and you're thinking about becoming a consultant, I'll have a link in the description. It outlines how I got and explains directly how I got my first 3 paying clients. I think this is super helpful for anybody who's thinking about becoming a consultant. So hopefully that information will be of value to you. Go ahead and follow that. There's also links to how you can use the software that I use to run my consultancy in there as well. So yeah, hopefully that's of use. Love to hear from you in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, whatever, if this was helpful. Thanks, and bye for now.